can see us.
Snap.
They can hear us. They can smell us. They can taste us. They can relate with us. I don't know. I'm going to stop. Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm Chuck with the Defenders of Cobalt. We have a bunch of cool people here. And we're going to play some Forbidden Lands. We're playing Raven's Purge. I do want to point out, if you look directly above Dan, I'm so happy I found out how to make the cheesy slides for images. So you can get all of our logos right there. Just boop, boop. It's super cool. I dig it. We're going to play Forbidden Lands. Last time we left off in Amber's Peak. We're going to be, the party was bored and they just wandered over here. They ended up kind of investigating. They bought themselves a really nice horse. And found out that there's these weird fire-breathing creatures running around the countryside. So they went and they fought one to investigate it. They ended up talking to a local priestess who's just like, yeah, I think Zertorm or Zeterom. I always forget how to pronounce that right.
Zertrum.
That's
how I wrote it, but I don't know if that's right.
I don't know if that's right. Let me... it's Zertorme. Zertorm. I'm going to go Zertrum, because that's how we've been saying it.
Oh, our title is wrong.
I don't know. Let's see if I can change that.
I got it if you want to keep going.
I'll let you. So, you talk to this priestess. She's like, yeah, I think he is a fake. And not the real Zertrum. I think he has been replaced by his evil father, Zatir. And you also talk to this one dude in town who's just like, he has captured essentially like an angel, a Valkyrie. And he's got the Valkyrie in prison in the castle. And you all have to go in there somehow and free this Valkyrie. And so this priestess, when we last left off, said, hey, meet me at my place here in a couple of days. I'm going to work to get you an audience with Zertrum, because you're all a traveling band of merchants, or musicians. And, you're all going to go perform and use your access to the castle to do something. Do whatever you want to do. Rescue the Valkyrie, figure out if he's an imposter, find out what's going on with the fire creatures. Who knows? Your decisions are many. But let's
keep from him.
Yeah. Take the keep, steal the deed. Let's
as long
go.
As it's on paper, it's ours. They can't argue.
It's true. Very true. Let's go through. We're going to do some introductions. You might notice we have a new face today. And next session, we'll have another new additional face. So got some excitement. Let's go through. We're going to do introductions. Tell me who you are. Plug any pluggables. Tell me about your character. And then for Adam's sake, why don't you give Adam a little snippet of the journey for you so far. So he can kind of get a feel for the train wreck we call a campaign. Dan, start us off.
Well, I'm playing Steely Dan, our rogue who's actually abysmal at theft. He's actually really good at lore and other things like that. And I've been not doing a whole lot of lockpicking successfully in this campaign. I'm trying to remember the highlights for my character are probably when we were in what was the first town where they tried to feed me to the fires. I gotta go back to the world map here real quick.
Yeah, that was in Frostcliff.
That was by the lake. Yeah, Frostcliff.
And everybody else was very useful there except for my character because he has basically no talents outside of wisdom, and they didn't want that. Yeah. So I was about to be captured and literally fed to their forges to make equipment.
The entire town was devoted to these forges, and if you weren't a productive member of the economy in town, they would sacrifice you to the forges to imbue their steel. So yeah.
So I was about that, and then on our way here, I believe it was, we ran into the wyvern, and I lost part of my foot. The whole part
Yeah.
It said I'll be taking that, and so now I'm trying to get a prosthetic foot made for my character.
Yeah, I think you paid to get it created,
Yeah.
and we just had a couple days wait until they had it. So
Exactly.
I'll say that couple of days has now passed, and you can lean into the session with your new prosthetic foot.
We're starting the session with bits.
Oh, we got bits.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
Look at that.
And
Thanks,
other
Captain
than that,
Kyrian. Fancy seeing you here again.
Suggested lots of other bad ideas, like poisoning everybody's food a couple times and some other things like that. So
Yeah, that means everyone, thanks to Captain Kyrian, everyone gets an additional willpower.
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
Much appreciated.
So
my first one.
There you go. Adam, nothing personal here, but I'm going to skip over you, and we're going to save you for the last. So Jake.
Well, I'm Jake. Hi, everyone. I'll be playing an elderly goblin named Osborne who has a penchant for starting fires. You know, for the glory of the god Cord, but also because he likes starting fires. He once got into he once got traumatized by a group of harpies that tried to take him for their son, and he ended up flying one down to the ground where it was then killed. And all this for a small sack of coins.
Mm-hmm. So Adam, have you seen the movie The Last Unicorn?
I can't remember if I have or not, honestly.
So just give yourself a little Google Harpy from The Last Unicorn.
Okay, cool.
And that's the creature that was trying to provide motherly nourishment to Jake's character.
Oh, also I have a boar named Bob.
Yep. There we go. All right. Moving to the other side. Oh, yep.
I've seen it. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Moving to the other side, Jeff.
All right. So I play Waits, who is an elderly dwarven minstrel who has honest eyes and a very checkered past. He may or may not have been like kind of the cliche, like creepy bard in the past, but has improved in his later years and realized the error of his ways. Well, at least in those ways, he and Dan and some others we've done some con men type of stuff here and there in the past. On our specific campaign here, I have been basically plying my trade as a minstrel whenever we go to places to get us free room and board. We've also recruited a couple NPCs, Alacrin and Helidim. Alacrin specifically is a orcish minstrel who I've taken under my wing, a young orcish minstrel, and is kind of like my protege. I've started up a band that we call Mirth, Gin, and Choir, and we're kind of building that up a bit. I think we also have like was it a squirrel or no? It was a fox. We have some creepy fox thing that Jeff thinks is going to murder us all in its sleep, but it's Waits thinks can sing and can like be part of the band. I guess that's really his shtick is he's kind of he plays and he plays for money, and he's got a little burgeoning posse of musical talent that he's looking to build upon.
There we go.
But also very old.
Yeah. Where can people find you?
Oh, that's right. Twitch.tv/the Lollygaggers. Adventures in Lollygagging is what we go by. We play various games on the internet. You can also catch us this coming Monday on Freely Publishing Channel, where we continue our Vaesen game. We play Vaesen on here, and you can catch Chuck and Dan and Melissa in that game as well.
Mm-hmm. That is true. All right. Melissa.
So I play Balari. She is a druid. she used to be very good at, and in fact, her pride was being a chef. So she spent a lot of time kind of alone out in the wilderness. So she's gotten pretty good handle on kind of making really delicious food out of anything that you can, kind of forage for. And generally, also one of the ways that she would make money whenever we would go into a village or a town would be to go to the local tavern, cook for kind of some extra money, but in recent sessions, one of the things in this game is if you try to invoke your pride and you fail, then that is no longer your pride. And so now my confidence has been shattered. I think everything that I cook sucks, and this isn't something that I should really be doing anymore. So last session the group was trying to kind of help me get my confidence back. I was able to help a town that made some pretty shitty bread in their tavern, and they actually have like edible bread now thanks to me, but I'm still not really confident in that. I had been banking some XP, and so this time I spent all 15 of the experience points that I had banked up for Path of the Shifting Shapes to kind of move me up in that, so I can now straight up shapeshift.
Nice.
And I accidentally put it in the chat, but I can actually use Primal Soul now to like tell either a small crowd, a big crowd, or an entire village how they're going to feel about something. So
wow.
I will be very curious to see when I can make use of that new fun talent that I have.
Performs.
Yeah. Very
can make
exciting.
them feel even better.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting because exactly how they react is up to the GM. But I basically need to kind of connect it to an animal. So like the rage of a boar, the laziness of a cat, or the timidity of a sparrow.
Oh,
so it's got to be connected to an animal somehow.
The excitement of a golden retriever seeing a bone. There we go. All right, very cool. All right, so our new face, not new to the stream, not new to the crew, but new to the game. Adam.
Hello.
Why don't you tell us some stuff about yourself and then tell us some stuff about your character?
Yeah, hi. My name is Adam Rose, and I'm with Groove and Perilous Studios. My character is a young orc sorcerer named Huxley. And he was raised amongst a quite dark and evil sorcerer, and he had a lot of he was brought up in that environment and eventually started to get out on his own, and he's struggling with realizing that is not the type of person he wants to be. But when that's all you know, it's kind of hard to break free from all of that. So that's kind of his backstory. He's looking for both Alucrin and Waits because he's known them before somehow or some way. Haven't quite figured out all the details, but fellow orcs that he can try and take some comfort in as he's trying to get away from how he was raised and trained.
So why don't... Hey, Ashley, thanks for coming by. Actually, we got two Ashleys.
Got two Ashleys, yeah.
Wow. So why don't we say this...
I was going to say really quick is that Alucrin is a young orc as well, who has also, and I remember very clearly that like he was kind of nervous because he was concerned with like the orcish upbringing, like, and he didn't want to go into music because he felt it would be looked down upon. And like, so that's why he was like practicing stuff away from folks. I'm dwarvish, but like, it probably would make sense that like,
maybe that's our connection. Huxley and Alucrin were friends, relatives at some point.
Okay. Yeah. I thought you both were orcs. Okay. Now I'm checking through here and I see, yep. So, okay. No, cool. Yeah. I'll just have that connection with Alucrin then.
There we go. Very cool. So we move forward in time a few days as Steely Dan gets his replacement foot. You all meet up with Skillia, who has since gotten you all passage into the Amber's Peak, the giant castle here. Now the castle it's like wreathed in flames. It's got all these crazy fires dancing up and down the surface of the castle. It's got two tall towers on the top of it, kind of like a round tower and then a rectangular squarish tower on it. But the thing is this area, Amber's Peak, is populated by the Gold Danes. Now, I really misplaced my good notebook, so I'm going to be reaching for words here. But there's two different factions of the Gold Danes. There's the there's the Aslins. Does anyone remember
The Cords.
the Cords?
Yeah, there's the chords and the I think he said Aslan. Like the chords are the ones that are kind of the newer. They're like the phony ones or something like that, or whatever, or like they're I think serving as guards at the castle.
Right. Okay. So yeah, there's two groups. There's the new phony group. They came to the Ravenlands a very long time ago and settled in. They're all from the Cords and the Galdane. They're all from Aslan. It's their word for Ashen Lands. It's to the west of the Ravenlands where you're at now. Initially, the Cords migrated over to the Ravenlands because they were trying to escape the clan violence. The Ashlanders, they're nomadic warrior groups, and they were trying to escape that. So they came, they settled into the Ravenlands, and they became farmers. So later on, the Geldanes traveled over, and they keep their traditional lifestyle. They're nomadic. They revere horses. Now the Cords are still known as, wonderful, they produce the best horses. They train the best horses. And the one thing is the Amber Peak is occupied by a person named Zertrom. And they view Zertrom somewhere between a deity or an avatar of a deity, or their leader. And so they're all kind of gathering here to be close to Zertrom, to sell their horses here. But the two sides don't like each other. The Geldane look in the Cords and say, you all have given up your ways. You wear the traditional garb, but it's fake. Like, we know you're farmers now. And well, the Cords are just like, Ravenlands was ours first. We came here first. We, of the Ashlanders, we're the ones who made this home. And, we don't appreciate you showing up and saying we're not Ashlander enough. But the one uniting thing is they all serve Zertrom. The catch here is the Cords have kind of developed a religion worshiping Zertrom, as I mentioned. It's like this deity-esque figure. Where the Geldane, they serve and they're extremely loyal. But there's a small growing faction that have noticed a change in behavior of Zertrom. Doesn't come out to visit the people anymore. Seems odd. Behaviors changed. They have a brand new in the castle itself. The inner guard has been replaced. It was all Geldane, and it's been replaced by Cords. So there's something odd. So the main priestess of the Geldane is like very certain, like something is not right, and I think this may not actually be Zertrom anymore, and that maybe Zertrom was replaced by Zertrom's super evil father, who goes by a few names. Zatir is the primary name, and they could also sometimes be referred to as Zeogfer. And there's some story back there that you're all not super familiar with at the moment. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you are. I forget sometimes.
Didn't we also buy a horse?
And while you were here, there was a feud between a Cord and a Geldane. They were both
the horse.
The horse.
They were bidding over this
very,
horse.
very special horse.
And they couldn't come to an agreement. So the only honorable way for them to reach an agreement was the two of them had to fight to the death, and the winner gets to buy the horse. Well, you all rolled up, and they realized there is another option out that doesn't involve us killing each other. You all have to buy the horse. So now the party has a very majestic and magnificent horse to
Named
With
Death
an
Butter.
equally majestic name.
Death
Death
Butter
Butter.
is the name
Death
of
Butter.
the horse. So, yeah, you all have finally gotten permission. Skillia is going to hand you over to the leader of the Geldanes. And goodness gracious, I don't remember any of these names because it's in my other notebook.
So there was Gutham, who was like the older dude.
He's
that
the one.
he wanted, yeah,
the Valkyrie.
right, and he was the one who was just like, if we're going in, like he said he'd be down to basically go in with us.
But he also seems like he just wants to go die in a
Go
fight.
die, right? Exactly. That's
Yeah.
what, like, I think an insight check revealed, is that he just was looking for like a glorious death and didn't really
Yeah.
care about the end
Yeah.
of it.
And there's disagreement about whether there's Valkyries
Yeah.
right.
inside
There
or
was
not.
also like some kind of singing that he claimed to have heard
Yeah.
that others didn't hear, but then I could have sworn Skelia mentioned something about there being somebody else
Bard or something.
a bard
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
A bard by the name of Marigal.
Marigal. Okay.
And that might be what Guthrum heard.
Right.
But we're gonna kind of cut in on Huxley.
Okay.
Huxley has been traveling for a while.
I'm gonna grab my water real quick.
Okay. On his own. And Huxley, you heard stories of this traveling musical group. And, you know, who cares? Whatever. Then you heard that, very oddly, this traveling musical group, led by a very handsome and extremely talented dwarf, had a new protege who was a very wonderful orc musician. And you're like, I had a, you know, friend / relative who is an orcish musician who is very, you know, orcish society doesn't necessarily welcome that very well. And so maybe you poke around, you ask about it, and you realize that this musician is named Alacrin, who in fact is your friend that you knew from childhood. And so you set off, you know, you're out alone in the world. Your old buddy Alacrin's alone in the world. So you set off to go team up with Alacrin. And this is where you're going to come in. You finally make it to Amber's Peak. You ask around about Alacrin. You're like, oh yeah, they, that band they're in, they threw an amazing performance in the, Augerville is the name of the tavern.
Okay.
Is that right? Yeah. Augerville. So you go and you ask around there, and they're like, oh, yeah, still in town, but we've seen them running around in the Geldane camp talking to the priestess quite a bit. And so this is where you finally track down where this priestess's tent is. As you enter, you see that Alacrin is here, along with 2 other musicians, an elf and a dwarf, along with a Balari. Is Balari an elf or a human?
Halfling.
Halfling, okay. Halfling, a goblin, and a human. And as you enter, Alacrin immediately recognizes you, gives you a warm greeting, introduces you to everyone, like, this is my old friend, you know.
Hello.
And then the question is, what brings you here? Like, I thought you were studying the arts with your asshole of a master.
Well, I think you keyed in on a proper word, which is asshole. And I had enough. And so I didn't want to live that sort of life. So I left, had nothing else. Thought I'd come find you.
Oh, well, this is fantastic. And Alacrin would go to Waits, like, Waits, he can't sing worth a damn, can't play an instrument, does have some magic to him, and he's a good friend of mine. Can he join
Well, we have been looking for someone to take over, the pyrotechnic aspect of our productions. So is that something perhaps your friend here could maybe look into? Maybe could do some fancy spell work or whatever, make things go, to help supplement the productions.
He looks at you there, Huxley. Now, what magical paths have you taken?
Huxley says, I don't think you want that sort of show, as I have taken blood magic and death magic.
All right, so rank 1.
I've got rank two blood magic and rank 1 death magic.
Okay, I can drop in all of the in your on talents tab in the spell section. I actually did manage to plug in the first 2 ranks of blood. So you'll just have to.
Oh, good.
So you've at least got that. You'll just have to reference the PDF for. But there is actually some fire spells.
Well, but that requires me to have a victim.
Okay, that's all right. We it's just someone to carry some of the crates every now and then, and rough up some folks if they don't act right while we're playing. That's fine. Any friend of Alacrin's is welcome in the party here. It's perfectly fine.
If you need a bit of rough and tumble, I tend to do that for a bit of fun.
That's good. I don't like to get my hands dirty. These are the money makers after all, so that would be most appreciative. Appreciated.
So, you mint coins?
Nope, that's a bit of a literal interpretation of what I'm metaphorically speaking. I use them to play instruments and such, and write songs. And if they get all messed up, I can't, pluck a string or anything like that, or plug a hole on a flute.
What's your favorite instrument?
Well, my voice, obviously, because it's delightful. But I do tend to have a fixation on getting a kind of a fine harp one of these days. The elegance of it is really appealing to me in my older age, but I haven't been able to get a hold of one just yet. Soon I will.
I've always enjoyed the sound of a good hurdy-gurdy.
Yeah, that's an instrument, all right. Very, it's definitely got a unique sound. Back when I was younger, back in the 60s, I definitely imbibed some stuff that I certainly found that to be definitely simpatico with the hurdy-gurdy, but I'm a little older now. I don't think I can quite handle it as much, but hey, we can find one. Maybe we can figure out how to get you in the band. No problem at all.
That would be something if I learned my favorite instrument.
Hey, listen, I pick up these things like they're second languages or something. Well, no, better than that, but pretty quickly it'll be fine. We'll find a way. We'll find a way. Maybe a solo or two. Experimental. Nothing wrong with that.
I really appreciate you making this offer. Not used to such kindness.
Well, I mean, you're going to have to help out. And every now and then we get in a few scrapes from time to time. So, like you're helping us out. It's fine. You got to carry your weight,
You say that like it's not a selling point.
Oh, hey, listen, if it is, then that works out perfectly then. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So every now and then we gotta bang some skulls, fight some demons, that kind of stuff. As long as you're okay with that, then no problem. You're welcome to join.
I've had a few encounters with such things.
And you live to tell the tale, so that's very encouraging on this. Very encouraging.
Like I introduced myself and I turned to some of the others and hello. What's your name? As I look at Osborne, but don't know his name.
Osborne's eyes are fixed on Wade's, and then he looks and goes, "Osborne, nice to meet you." And then he fixes his eyes back on Wade's.
Okay. I'll turn to Steely Dan. What's your name?
Dan, Steely Dan, a former acquaintance of Waits myself.
Ah,
Long-term acquaintance. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, I'm still here. I'm not dead yet. We're not former.
I've never heard that.
He used to be his acquaintance, and he still is.
I never knew that Steely Dan was long for Dan.
It is. Some people think it's Daniel. No. It's Steely Dan.
And then I turned to Valari and I look down and I it's almost like I'm scared. Hello.
Yes. Hi there. I've actually been practicing some magic type things. I can do a little bit of shape shifting, and maybe that's something we can work on together, maybe away from all of these folks, and then show them what we've worked on.
Yes, perhaps. You like, it's obvious he's trying to be nice, but he's also like, there's some reservation there that he won't say. But yeah, it's odd that someone as large as an orc seems to be afraid of halfling.
And she's gonna sort of look up at him and just be like, "Have you not seen a lot of halflings in your time?"
Only one.
And did that go well for the halfling or for you?
He changes the subject. He says, "Well, it's so kind of you all to take me in."
He saw what they did in the Lord of the Rings.
He saw one with a glowing sword.
It's so kind of you all to take me in and on just me showing up. Is there anything that you would have me do?
Come journey with us to a castle and try to steal it? I mean, try to get information in it?
Yeah, wait. You were saying he could do pyrotechnics, right?
We're gonna, workshop that a bit, maybe.
Right. Yeah, you're gonna workshop it, right? I can help with that. Anytime you need, I got you.
Okay. You are full of surprises, Osborne. Okay.
Oh no, I know what I'm good at.
Hey, everybody needs a skill. Okay.
I think you and I are going to get along, Osborne.
Yeah, swimmingly. Yeah, especially pyrotechnically.
Technically, you're correct.
There we go. Yeah.
So Scylla steps in and she's like, "I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Get out of here. We're talking." No, just...
we do have a task at hand. You all, I've gotten you audience with Zertram in the Amber Castle, in Amber's Peak. I have not contacted Guthrum yet. He wants to go very badly, but you are all who are putting your skin on the line on this. Do you wish him to come with you, or do you wish to leave now without him?
As much as it will probably hurt his feelings, I think it would probably add additional risk to our mission to bring him with us.
I mean, if things go sideways, it would be helpful to have him. But I also feel like potentially having him means the chances of it going sideways go up as well. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I guess we're saying he can screw off. This is our meeting.
Yeah.
For now, at least.
Like his skill set could have been helpful, though. We may not get another opportunity.
What is his skill set exactly?
He's an old warrior.
We're trying to do the whole schmoozing thing, right? We're not trying to go at this full force. We got to do some reconnoitering first. Get the lay of the land over there before we decide on the next course of action. So maybe...
Yeah. Ideally, we're just here to learn.
Right.
Well, if you think we're going to get in and get out and then have another opportunity, then maybe he'd be best for round 2.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah. Let's do some looking, sussing, and then maybe if we have to go back in, we'll bring him.
Bring the muscle then.
Yeah. Okay.
Balari's going to reach in her bag and get some bread and give it to Huxley and say, if you're hungry, it's okay. But,
Hobbit killed my mother with a piece of bread.
The leader of the Geldanes is Skunza. She says, all right, I will contact Skunza, and he will be the one to escort you in. The rest of us are not currently permitted in the Ember Castle.
Huxley takes a bite out of the bread and he's, this is the most delicious thing I've had in a long time.
Oh no, you're just being nice. It's fine. It's passable. It's not hard as a rock,
What?
but I'm glad you like it.
I wouldn't know. I haven't eaten in a very long time.
Oh, well, we can't have that. And Balari's going to go rooting in her bag and find some sort of
Bread.
root vegetable or something that can be eaten raw and just shove it at you.
Yeah,
You can't have somebody hungry around Balari. It doesn't work.
Have a fistful of potatoes.
I was hoping there's like a carrot or something in there too.
Haven't even been washed.
yeah, man, that's poisonous.
Root of the earth.
Yeah, you don't eat potatoes raw.
You like rutabaga? Because I got rutabaga.
There you go. So Skunza shows up. He doesn't seem terribly pleased about this situation. You're the ones performing for Zertram. I do need to impart on you your behavior. Zertram is a great leader and warrior, and has magical skills beyond the comprehension of mere mortals such as ourselves. More so, he is yet to play a very important role here in the Ravenlands. So please, behave yourself. Do not bring shame to me.
It's a marvelous opportunity for us as well.
Honored just to have the opportunity. Absolutely. We would do nothing to embarrass either you or ourselves.
Let's go then. So yeah, he'll escort you through town, through the camp, over the bridge, on the other side of the bridge, there's the Geldane camps where they make up the bulk of the army and the guards for the castle. He takes you through this inner gate, and this inner gate here, what's marked as 9, this is where the Quards have their setup. It's a crude camp. You kind of get the feeling that most of them don't actually stay the night here, but they have patrols that just march up and down this kind of inner courtyard.
Yeah, I kind of want to keep an eye, to see how they're moving.
Okay, yeah, you kind of make mental note of their kind of patrol patterns as you're cutting
In case we
through.
want to come back and Sam Fisher this later.
Yeah. Once you get through the inner gates, you can see it looks like there's an old temple of some form that's just in ruins on the top of this section of the mountain towards the right, but he's taking you towards the left. And I can get to push this narrate button. Against the mountain wall on the northern plateau stands a very tumbled down palace made of strange architecture. Here and there, fire of different colors inexplicably runs down the stone walls. The tops of the 2 towers blaze more brightly. He takes you up the narrow staircase into the castle proper. As you kind of enter in through I don't know what the proper term is, but through the porch, you reach a larger, partially collapsed banquet hall. There's the remains of 4 long tables, oak benches. Everything appears desolate and burnt. Tattered and scorched tapestries hang on the walls. It looks like there used to be some kind of balcony or something like that outside of it, but it's must have collapsed when the portion of this great hall collapsed. Inside, or in this main hall, sitting on a very decently plush-looking chair, you see a figure. It's androgynous. You can't tell if it's but very attractive, very graceful looking elf, strumming on a lute, singing gently. And when they see you, they stand up like, "Oh, friends, welcome. I've been told that you were all coming today to a performance. I always love hearing other musicians play. I am Marigal, and it is a pleasure to meet you."
I'll do a very grandiose
flourished.
bow, and I'll introduce myself, the band, the others. Do I recognize the name Marigal at all? Does that name as a performer?
Yeah.
That
I won't even make you roll for it. You would just know, being a performer, you have heard the name Marigal floating around for as long as the blood mist has been gone. Wonderful bard, seems to travel more than anyone else you've ever heard of. Skill is completely, next tier.
Mhm.
So yeah, you would be familiar with the name
Okay.
Marigal.
So then when they introduce themselves, I will not entirely, I'm not being phony necessarily, but I am maybe inching it up a little bit. Like, just it's an absolute honor to be in your presence. Your name is you need no introduction. You have been an inspiration for me as a musician, as a crafter of song and tale. I'm honored to be in your presence, to have you listen to what we fine folk could produce. It's absolute honor.
I am humbled and pleased. Actually, I have actually listened to you play before. And
you've heard us.
You are quite
nice set of
amazing.
lips. Wait to reach that butt from there.
It was actually when the news of you all wanting to play here for Zertrum. It was actually, I'm the one who pushed for it, just so I can hear you play again as well.
I'm absolutely flattered. That is, thank you very much for that. To hear someone such as yourself hold us in such esteem, to invite us here after, it means a great deal. It does. Yeah. It does. These old dwarven ears.
Perhaps when your performance for Zertrum is over, before you leave, I would be honored if maybe we could play a song together.
Oh, that sounds delightful. I would be most honored to partake in that. Absolutely.
You hear off in the distance a strange screech call of some animal you're not familiar with. You can hear outside of the broken the opening in the wall from where this main hall is kind of collapsed. You can hear scraping noises, and Marigal's like, he has returned. And through the hole in the wall, this figure wearing what looks to be very similar to Ashlander outfits, with this giant billowing cape, wearing this kind of strange mask, riding a giant lizard, comes scrambling through the hole in the wall. And actually, I have an image, and you all are going to recognize this image. Oh, I need to do that.
Did Bob come with us, Osborne?
No, Bob is safely in the stable, being pampered.
Yeah.
Oh yes, this image is quite familiar.
Yes, this does look familiar.
As this creature climbs in with this dude sitting on top of it. And actually on the cover of the book itself, that's an actual picture of Zertrum. So I'm just not saying, hey, this is him. Like, no, that's actually him. and
We
he
stumbled upon a central figure.
Yeah. Like meta knowledge, this guy might be a big deal.
he slips off of his mount.
I suddenly had a Tiny Tina's moment. It's like, I punch him.
He gives his mount. It's a giant lizard, but it looks different. Not like anything you've ever seen before. Bellaria, you've come across plenty of creatures out in your travels. It looks like some kind of hybrid, but you're not exactly able to place it. But he gives it a pat. You've done well, Paravia. Now back. Go on, get some rest. And the creature crawls back out of the hole.
Marvelous creature.
As Zertrum turns to you and it's you all beat me here. It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Zertrum, Lord of Amber's Peak, and I want to have a talk with you. I know you've come here with intentions of playing, but I actually listened to you when you played in the tavern the other day.
Boy, apparently everybody was sneaking into the tavern.
Right?
You heard us already.
I did. You've
My
some
lord?
skill. Zertrum is fine. Someday it will be your majesty, but that day has not yet arrived.
I see.
I hate to disappoint you if you came here to playing music, but I will not be asking you to do so today. And Marigold's just like, well, maybe when the business is done. Zertrum's
Business.
well enough. I am friends with a little group who have mentioned a group of traveling performers. And sure enough, when I heard traveling performers were in town playing at the tavern, I went down to have a look, and you matched the description. Have you heard of the Red Runners?
We have.
Had some dealings with them.
Yes, they are they're acquaintances of mine. We have worked together in the past, and we look to work together in the future. And the fact that you were able to peacefully obtain one of the rubies from the name of that one place,
The Eye of the Rose.
Eye of the Rose. You were able to obtain one of the rubies from the Eye of the Rose peacefully, and then you freely handed it over to the Red Runners. Is impressive. Not every one would be willing to give away such a intense magical artifact.
If it means avoidance of bloodshed and peace for some time, then such a sacrifice is warranted, I think.
Not to mention it gets any potential targets painted on our back brushed back off.
Indeed.
That's fair. That is fair. So, I brought you here to ask you a favor. The Red Runners, their job looking for these rubies is not yet done. How much do you know of them?
I know there was a fair amount that we discovered with some of our lore checks. I think we had a story about which ones they were missing, if I recall correctly.
So these rubies were actually the original elves that created life here in the Ravenlands.
I don't think we knew that.
You have found one of them from the clasp and returned it to the Red Runners. The ruby that's in the sword and the ruby that's in the rod are still out there in the world being looked for by the Red Runners.
If they can get the one that's in the sword, they're more than welcome to it.
I
task.
I have actually heard that you
No, of course not, no.
traveled into Weatherstone. and
Yeah.
survived. That is no easy task. But
Never.
that's going to be a second part of my request of you, as I need you to finish what you started in Weatherstone. And I need you to claim the rod.
We are woefully under-equipped for that.
I beg your pardon here, future your majesty, but what you ask of us is a significant task, and although we are grateful for every opportunity, that task is quite considerable. We, as you say, nearly lost all of our lives as we tried to escape that place. And we suffered the betrayal of an absolutely terrible bard and minstrel who has no business playing any music whatsoever on this earth. What is in it for us exactly?
Well, the first thing will be is I can pay you greatly. I can even arrange for you. You are wandering, you have no permanent home. I could easily find you a castle to call your own.
Interesting. Would it be as...
Would it have fire?
Yeah.
If you made fire, it
Yeah,
would
I
not
can
be
do that.
like this one. You will not have my lovely guest Brunhilde to assist with that.
All right. I see.
That the old
Ouch.
hocus pocus, yeah.
Will Brunhilde be joining us?
What's that?
Will Brunhilde be joining us this evening?
No, she will not.
A pity. Another time, hopefully.
Yes. So I will pay you. If you require land, I will give it to you. The most important thing is that my father, Zatira, seeks the remaining rubies and seeks the crown as well. The crown itself has 2 rubies set in it already. If he can claim all 5 rubies, the ruby from the rod and Weatherstone, the ruby from the clasp that you already rescued from the Eye of the Rose, along with the ruby that's in the sword, which the Red Runners are currently working on tracking down, place all the rubies in the crown. He aims to throw this into the Proto-Nexus, which would permanently merge the demonic world and our world.
That seems bad.
It is. It is my father who has brought every single demon that you've come across into this world. It is my father who is responsible for the blood mist that plagued this land for so long.
So you're saying that if he were to get the 5 stones, he could end this world in a snap?
I end it as you know it, yes. He could get the 5 stones. Luckily, it is in a crown and not on a glove.
What?
But yes, I wish my goal for you is to assist the Blood Runners on retrieving the stones, so that they can keep it safe.
Your father also the one responsible for the demonic creatures that are plaguing the countryside and the poor, hardworking farmers of this land that are putting food on our plates and into our bellies?
My father's the one who opened the Proto-Nexus, allowing the demons to flood in. Are you asking a more specific question?
Well, on our travels here, we encountered several rural folk who noted that their farms and their lands were beset by these foul creatures that can only be demonic, I would imagine. Capable, they look like regular animals, but
they were breathing fire.
Yes, indeed.
Those were mine.
You are creating creatures that can breathe fire.
Yes, I am merging demon and mundane to create fire-breathing monstrosities that I can use in my army to destroy my father.
Now, these monstrosities, are they limited to just animals? Like, say, could a person be reworked to just, shoot fire out of their mouth whenever?
Possibly.
Oh, man, possibly. Yeah.
My favorite creations, you probably didn't see them, guarding the old chapel that I now use as the stable for Perivia and my Petrodons. It is guarded by a couple of Minotaurs that I created that also breathe fire, and they are quite stable.
Sounds menacing.
If I did that, I suppose I could probably. Are you volunteering?
Yes. If you would take volunteers, I would help to advance the knowledge of this.
It certainly would make my job a lot easier than getting subjects the regular way.
What's the regular way?
Yes, by kidnapping them.
Oh, well. I live to serve. What's this guy's name?
Zertrum.
True.
Zoloft? No.
I live to serve Zoloft.
So
Lord Zoloft, I'm sorry.
Balari is going to speak up and say, at the risk of offending the very person who's offering to pay us a handsome sum of money and offer us a castle, it seems to me that you're wanting to procure help in stopping your father, who did some type of experiments on the world and is now not taking responsibility for the after effects of that. But I fail to see that the apple has fallen too far from the tree. You appear to be doing experiments on creatures and not taking responsibility for the damage that they're wreaking on your own subjects.
It's not an unfounded statement. I do take responsibility. I very intentionally
in the form of trying to stop them at all?
I'm not trying to stop these creatures. I'm releasing them to test their effectiveness.
Did that get figured out already? Doesn't that just take one? You do it once, you see it works, and you don't need to do it again?
No, I am constantly in the search of perfecting and making stronger creatures. Eventually, I will have an army of these.
Are there not testing grounds that might be not in your backyard and not killing your subjects? I ask because if I'm going to take a job for someone, I want to have an accurate sense of their character.
I won't sugarcoat this. What is the life of a few farmers for the greater good?
No. Those farmers feed the populace.
So it
They
kind of depends
themselves
upon
contribute to the greater good.
Right. And it would also kind of depend on how you define the greater good. What is your vision?
To rid the world of my father, close the proto-nexus, banishing all the demons from this land.
And replace it with a man who, as my friend Balari has said, seems to have fallen fairly close to the tree. And has he himself, or no disrespect, begun to spawn all manner of beasts and is willing to unleash them upon the very populace outside of his castle that has been feeding his people, and is doing so without even a bit of guilt?
Times of war call for extreme measures. This is no ordinary foe that we are fighting. We are fighting the great sorcerer Zatir. My own father and my own sister. This regular armies and regular tactics will not win this war. I am sure I will be held accountable for my actions when this is over. But I cannot let that stop me now. It is only a matter of time until his foul brotherhood managed to return the blood mist.
When you do eventually overthrow your father and sister, Will you just step aside and let the people of this land live peacefully and no longer use them for your experimentations and such?
That is my goal, is to, once this is done, become a just king, return this land to how it was ran before the Blood Mist, with elves and dwarves and humans living in peaceful coexistence.
Can I insight check this?
Sure.
It's not my best skill, but
I want at least 2 successes here.
okay. I'll push. And could I tap? I'm not sure if this would count. I have honest eyes. I know a
Absolutely.
lot. You know what I mean? I'm a liar. I think I can spot one. So I was going to tap into my pride, if that's all right. So let me push. And then what's the what is it? D10, D12,
D12.
D12.
Roll high on it.
I basically need to roll a 12 for this to work. No, I
Ooh.
rolled a
No,
1.
you don't have
Yeah.
honest eyes anymore.
You don't have
Do not
honest
have
eyes
honest
anymore.
eyes.
Hmm.
Okay.
Can perhaps multiple people inside
Sure.
check this?
I'll
or-
let you take it.
Okay. Okay.
3
I'm
successes.
sorry.
Okay.
There is
Wow.
there is definitely, like, there's a lot of truth in what he's saying. He believes he's true. But you can kind of tell there's some reluctance in the words. Like, he's saying the words, but maybe he doesn't entirely believe them himself. He intends to, it's that thing, like, I'm going to give the land over to the people so they can live peacefully. But, if they can't figure that out, then I'm just going to have to keep being their king. So,
And if there's anybody left after all of this experimentation.
yeah.
Perhaps he should consider forming like a council among those races ahead of time as a way to try and foster this leadership among them.
That's not it's not a terrible idea.
This is truly your aim.
Yeah. But the war first. I will never be able to defeat the Rust Brothers by simply fighting as a human with honor.
So the Rust Brothers are his army?
Yes.
I don't think that was apparent to us before, or am I being forgetful?
This would be news to you.
Okay.
Dan got distracted. Stop it, Jamie. Slap him again.
Jamie keeps coming over and talking to me.
Might be the case of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend right now, at least temporarily.
Yeah. But yeah, his quest for you is to retrieve the rod and then go work with the Blood Runners. You can meet them in Pelagia.
Is there anything that you could
Okay, sorry about
provide
that.
us now to aid us in this task?
What is it that you would need? I can give you coin if that's what you want.
If coin, certainly it wouldn't hurt. Just as we said, this was a very dangerous place to begin with. Any supplies, coin,
Sure.
information, anything like that that could aid us in our task would be
Yes,
most appreciated.
I can start you off with a piece of information that will help you retrieve the rod that was in Weatherstone. The undead king that you awoken and its soldiers have taken to the march. And they now, after having just sacked and destroyed Candlekeep,
Oh no.
they now ride north towards the Hollows.
Oh.
Oh,
So it-
balls.
So they didn't just go back to rest.
No, whatever you
that
did
far.
has disturbed their eternal slumber.
Well, it was that no good bard.
Mm.
Trying to remember what his
Dalb?
name.
Was it Dalb? I have
Dalb,
Dalb
that's
written
correct,
down.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that ding dong. We got to kill him, too.
I agree. I told y'all. I told
God,
you.
you did. You had us.
So,
Yeah.
now that
We-
they're not in a fortified castle, it might
We can
make
go
it easier.
smash their butts in.
Yeah, easier to sneak in, use guerrilla tactics, and try and claim the rod. I will tell you, if you manage to take the undead king's sword from him, it will break the magic binding him to this world.
So you're saying that his soldiers are on the march, but he remains in Weatherstone, or are
No,
we
he
chasing
marches
after the-
with them.
Okay, gotcha. So we have to sneak into an undead army. Gotcha. Okay, sure. Mm-hmm.
I might be able to. I might have a plan for that. Let's see. Maybe when you're ready to head that direction, I can give you some of my creatures to help. Send them in as a distraction, and you all can sneak in, attack from the flank or the back, and try and get directly to the king.
And considered something of that nature myself.
I would be willing. Are you muted, Jeff?
I think that would be useful. Sorry, sometimes I mumble.
Oh, okay. Very well.
How controllable are your creatures?
For you, not at all. I would simply drop them off where you ask me to, and then they will fight until they can fight no more.
They'll be the advanced team, and then we'll come in after.
And
Okay.
I head-on attack I would not recommend. You definitely need to use your wits on this.
They at least know same team, like shirts and skins, and they know we're on the same team not to attack us.
No.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we need
So-
to be critical in our
Just
planning.
make sure that you are not do not appear as big of a threat as the undead army. And they should leave you alone.
Okay. Will there be some way for us to communicate with you from outside of here efficiently? It seems like reaching you is normally quite difficult.
Marigold would step in. Like, I do have something that could help. And they hand you, Steely Dan, a black obsidian looking orb. And I have the other one. Simply hold it to your ear, and it will allow us to communicate freely. And you hold it to your ear, and they hold it to their ear. And you feel the orb kind of heat up as they start to talk to you. Not like it's going to hurt, but just enough it would grab your attention.
Mhm.
So it's on, intense vibrate.
Very neat. This will be quite useful for us to coordinate.
And just contact me, and I will let our good friend Zertram here know that you're ready.
Delightful. That will allow us ample time to scout and make our decisions.
What I would recommend is, if you're going to leave here, head straight towards the Hollows. I cannot guarantee that you'll make it there before the army. They have considerably less distance. And they do move very slow, though. They are, after all, just a bunch of shambling skeletons. And then from there, when the job is done, take the rod and head to Pelagia. We all check out the world map. Let me do this so the stream can see too.
Oh, wait, that is.
I'll show you here in a second. So right now, and Adam, you can see the light tiles that are, those are tiles that you all have moved through already.
Mm.
You all are here in Amber's Peak.
Okay.
It's hard to see. Let me zoom in on the stream. Make sure I'm zooming in on the right spot. There it is. So, you're all in Amber's Peak. Over here. Pelagia is way over here on the coast.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
That's
fun.
quite far away. My goodness.
What I would recommend is head straight towards the Hollows, handle your business there, and then head southeast towards Pelagia and hand over the rod to the Red Runners there and work with them to see if you can locate the crown and the sword.
Are there any known towns or places that we might be able to stop between the two? That's quite a distance for us to travel.
It is. There's a few towns between here and there. The names escape me at the moment. Whatever you do, avoid Philander down by the 10. And I'm pinging it there. It is an ancient rune that still carries an evil mark. But there's some other towns along the coast. Or, if you would be interested, you could travel to one of the towns along the coast and see if you could obtain a boat. So you do not have to travel overland.
So, what's wrong with Philander? It's an old ruin.
Yes, it's an ancient and cursed place. Let me get that information for you real quick. If I can spell right. Fallander. It's Fallander.
Perhaps from the Hollows we could go to Cold Gulch, and perhaps boat around from there.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Hang on, I'm trying to see if I've just got a straight.
That might be the most expedient path.
You not see
Then-
the picture of the sea serpent on the map?
Well,
Just
Chuck's
saying.
totally got to attack us with the dragon turtle. I mean, that's all the rage lately.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna happen whether we're on land or not.
Valeri's not a fan of water. I decided just now.
Could ask
Didn't you have a
stay-
shipwreck or something?
Long ago,
Something.
I like that it's in the Anger Bay also. Feel so frustrated when I'm in this area.
That's right. Waits
than-
and Balari survived a shipwreck years ago.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's right.
It's better than really pissed off Gulf. That's like a really bad place to be.
yeah, Fallander, long ago during the ancient wars, was burnt to the ground. And it is now rumored that some ancient religion, evil religion, has sprouted from there.
It sounds like a perfect place to not go to. Ever.
So, yes, those are my request. Reclaim the rod, take it to Pelagia, and then work with the Red Runners. If you're unsure of my motives, at least know this. You working to keep the stones and the crown out of my father's hand will do the world a good and keep him from doing more harm with them.
On that much we agree. Now, about that advance so that we can supply.
Yes. Marigal, would you be kind enough to go and fetch them some coin? And Marigal will slip off, come back a handful of minutes later, and plop 5 gold coins into everyone's hand. And this is
All right.
also for Alucrin, and the one I can never remember, Heladim.
Heligen. Or Helidim, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, I try to remember how much I owe for my foot.
This is a start.
I think we paid your foot.
I know, but I gotta get Melissa her money back. Don't need her coming busting my leg on me later.
Oh, I have 5 silver and 25 copper from you from last time.
I know, but it was some amount of gold.
And I don't remember.
Balari wants to ask
Yeah.
Zertrim, how much information does your father have about your plans to kind of take him down? Does he think that you are in support of his
No.
plans, or is he aware that you are actively working against him?
My father and my sister know that I am against them, and they bore me no love. They bear me no love, but they are proud and arrogant, if nothing else.
They think you weak.
Yes.
It is better to be underestimated.
Yes. And they will regret that.
Probably bears asking, are you aware of the dissent among your own people?
I know of their fighting. I talked to the spiritual leader of the Cords, and I talked to the leader of the Geldane who brought you up here. I do what I can to help them keep the peace, but I do not visit them in a way that they can see me anymore.
I mean,
Yeah, why is that anyway?
I have been very preoccupied with my work here. And then also, I do not wear this mask as a simple fashion accessory. I was terribly disfigured in an experiment. I myself have given sacrifices towards the creation of this army. And rather than going down there, and I know already rumors circulate that I am no longer myself and have been replaced.
Well, then, wouldn't you want to go and show them that you are, in fact, still here?
That is an idea I have, but the simple fact is next they will want me to show them my face. And I cannot do that.
Well, I've never seen your face before. You could try on me.
I will not. Not only was I disfigured, but I, in arrogance, tried to recreate my face through demonic infusions.
So you say that something may happen if we do look at your face.
Well, it is very apparent that I now bear a very monstrous visage. And showing them my face will do nothing but drive the rumor that I've been replaced. So now when I visit my people, I do so under a cloak of invisibility. That is how I listened to you all play the other day.
Balari wants to do an insight check on this whole faith story.
Sure. You didn't get any successes. You want to push that? The 2 ones there?
Oh. I really want to know, but
What are you insight checking right now?
This face story. Because he does have his face covered, and he's got this fantastical story as to why, and I'm wondering if it's all just BS.
It's not like the classic TV thing. We're like, they're not showing the face of this person, so that must mean we might recognize this person if we saw them.
Because I wouldn't want to be like,
Maybe.
oh, hey, you are the dad, and we're just going to go help you.
Maybe he'll see you pondering a little bit. He's like, I can guarantee you. The rumor I've heard is that I am Zeogfer, my
Mm,
father.
indeed.
But I can guarantee you this cannot be true.
How
Anyone
could
who
you
has ever
provide such a guarantee?
anyone who has ever laid eyes on Zatera would vouch for this. Zatera is the name of the creature that was and is my father and my sister.
I beg your pardon.
My father was old, and his physical form is weakening due to centuries of experimentation with demonic energies. As he was dying, his apprentice, his protege, my sister, Therania, offered up her body, and the two of them, along with a demon ally, fused the three forms together. So now, Zatera is the. Imagine a man and a woman fused back to back with the lower torso of a giant demonic spider.
Oh, that sounds quite terrifying.
That is
That's what
Zatera.
I'm picturing. Yep. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to ever see that. No offense.
But aren't we going to have to?
Oh, we may not.
Hopefully we don't have to. We're just going and get the damn ruby, and then this one can go ahead and they can have their family squabbles.
I like that better then.
Very well.
Perhaps just a little more attention in some areas might alleviate some strain among your people.
I'll do what I can.
Could you stop releasing the fire-breathing animals onto the farmland at least? Like send it off into the woods and they can fight other animals, not people. Could we just do that?
That by itself
That might not be a terrible idea. I could release them next to the Eye of the Rose. And that way they'll be fighting the orcs and not the farmland around the town. That would be acceptable. I will. Good idea.
It's not exactly what. Oh, all right. That's it. Okay.
All right. I'm glad we could come to an agreement.
Compromised on a lesser evil.
Sure.
Huxley is like staring him down, like trying not to give him daggers for eyes, but he's not pleased when he hears that.
That's fair.
For what it's worth, they were doing less than savory things over there.
Yeah. I mean, they kept people in prison, but they did treat them well at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, just so you know, the Eye of the Rose, it's underneath the Eye of the Rose, which is this giant castle on this, mountain crag. Underneath of it is an orc city. It used to be an old elven city that was abandoned. The orcs have moved in there and are trying to kind of create their own thing there. The king of the orcs is wanting to better his people in all ways. And so they were inviting people to come visit them. Learned people, musicians, painters, builders, smiths, all sorts of people. And when they show up, he would say, like, you can stay here in the castle as an honored guest and teach your skills, or we can throw you in prison and you'll stay in prison except for when we have you come out and teach your skills.
Well intended, less than savory.
Good idea, terrible execution.
Yeah.
It's another bridge we'll cross when we come to it. For now, the immediate danger is addressed.
Yeah. It should be a fair bit more defensible than the farmlands.
Right.
Yes.
And I don't feel too comfortable. Like, I don't want to piss this guy off right now. I don't feel our chances.
That's why he's not saying anything. Yeah.
Right. It's like, yeah. Like I'm totally
We've pushed probably about as many buttons.
I know. Yeah.
Probably push.
So,
Well, I suppose it's time for us to retire then.
if that's what you want, I thought you and Marigold were going to play
Oh.
together.
Of course, I would very much. Well, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to take up more of your time, future Your Majesty.
That is up to you. Marigold will be like, I'll tell you what, if you're not comfortable here, maybe I'll visit you in the tavern later.
Oh, well, that would be delightful.
And we can play together on stage tonight.
You, a little flutter in my heart has begun to. Yeah, I look forward to it. See, it is the silver lining in an otherwise dark cloud of a conversation.
Very well. I'll tell you what, I will give you one last gift to each of you. It might come in handy. Give me just a moment. And he'll walk out of the back of the hall into another room. And when he opens the door to this, like, smoke just starts kind of billowing out of this room into the main hall. And he comes back a few minutes later, and he has, we'll call it 6 small glass jars with this strange kind of yellowish thick liquid inside. And he'll hand each one of you one of these jars that's sealed. And it's incredibly hot, like almost uncomfortable to hold. This is, we'll call it a little gift from my dear friend Brunhilde. Throw this at something, and then once the fluid comes in contact with the air, it will burst and explode in fire.
How many of these you got?
I will give you 6.
Oh, okay.
Sounds remarkable.
Yes. It's quite
I mean,
potent.
I guess you just don't really want to stop your dad if you're only giving up 6. I mean, that might slow him
give
down.
me a manipulation test.
Okay. Okay, at least it's empathy.
Yeah.
I'm giving Waits a huge thumbs up, like, yeah.
That's
yeah.
a success. I got 1 success.
He'll give you 2 more. Very well.
All right, I'll give him to Osborne.
And Hilda must be
Yeah, we've
some
got enough for Heladrim.
quite
and,
a powerful chemist or sorcerer to produce something of such.
Yeah, I think she's probably something even worse than that too.
Oh, did you
I'm
ask
sure.
him that, Dan?
Oh, I'm
Oh,
just
yeah, that's right.
saying, kind of offhand, commenting that she must be something quite remarkable to produce something like this.
Brunhilde is
Okay.
remarkable indeed. She is invaluable to my experiments in creating these creatures.
Her
So-
handiwork then that has caused the pigs to blow fire on the farmers of this land.
What was that start of that question, Jeff?
I said it's her handiwork then that has caused pigs to blow fire on the farmers of this land.
She provides me the inspiration and raw materials, and I, along with Marigold's help, infuse it into flesh.
Raw materials. How does she do that? Where does she find such raw materials?
She creates them herself. She's a fire demon.
No.
Oh. Well,
Now, I beg your pardon. Wasn't it your father who made and brought demons to this land and such?
Yes.
And so, wouldn't she be a creation of your father?
He opened the Proto-Nexus. Some demons he summoned specifically. Once the door was open, many others just came through. Which is how we ended up with the Blood Mist.
Everything's perfectly clear. Thank you very much for
Yes.
that. Appreciate
Yes.
that extra explanation.
Okay. Well, any other questions? I'm happy to share what information I have, or will you be on your way?
if we come up with any further questions, we have means to reach out to you.
Very well.
Would it be all right if we call on the castle at times? So could we?
As
Make
long as
that
our
sure that
goals...
you're-
Go
Our
ahead.
goals are certainly aligned. I was just
Yeah.
wondering if it's possible to inform your honor guard out front that we are friendlies and allies and could come across in a peaceful way.
I'll allow it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. That's very kind and gracious of you.
This war will have many fronts, so if you ever find yourself stuck on hunting down the rubies, and you can come to me and I'll give advice that I can, or if you want to help in other ways, I'm sure I can find tasks for you. Like, if you ever want to kill a giant flaming suit of armor that the Rust brothers worship, I might be able to point you in that direction.
Well,
One
that
thing at a time.
Sounds terrifying, but interesting.
Especially if we can put it on afterwards. That might be.
I would
sweet.
not recommend that.
Right. Okay. Sure.
Sorry, the whole fire motif is very cool.
This is people
So,
fire party who like fire.
There's a suit of armor that is wreathed in fire and it's empty.
No.
Oh.
It's
full.
complicated.
Perhaps a tale for another day.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps we'll look into that status later then.
Okay.
We're not too fond of the Rust brothers ourselves. So.
You should not be. As I have said, they do seek the return of the Blood Mist. They would close this land down again.
That would be most unfortunate. Okay. I think I'm out of ideas for the time being.
Okay. If you all take your leave, Marigon will escort you out to the castles, and then she'll have one of the Cord writing there, like, please escort these wonderful people back to the tavern. And the Cords actually, they don't disagree, but you can tell they get rather agitated by that.
That they're being told to escort us, or that we were called wonderful people?
It was the agitation showed up when they were told to escort you to the tavern.
Okay.
'Cause-
Right. Oh, okay. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the tavern had a sign out front that said no cords
No
allowed.
cords. Yeah. Okay. I mean, halfway there, I'll probably turn to them and be like, we can go ahead and find the rest of the way if you all want to return to your posts.
They'll turn. One of the younger ones will stop and be like, "You went in the castle?
Yes, we did.
Did you see him?
Whom?
Zertram.
We did indeed.
Did he glow in radiant light like the stories say?
There
It was
were
quite
some
majestic.
majestic moments. Yes.
You were quite blessed." And then he'll turn and ride off.
Those people are drinking the colorful flavored liquid.
Mhm.
Okay. Hey, Chuck, is there like messenger services or anything around here?
I'd say yeah. You could probably hire.
Okay.
Especially here in the in the Ashlander camps who pride themselves as strong riders.
I will write a note of urgency to the King at the Eye of the Rose to prepare for potential fiery creatures and such that have befallen this area and have been said to be migrating northward into the forest around
Okay.
his
That's tactful.
They'll take probably like 3 silver.
Yeah, no problem.
They'll take it and they'll gladly deliver your message.
Okay.
As long as the king lets them leave afterwards.
That's a fair point, but
Yeah. They don't
want
need
to make an
know
omelet, got to break a few eggs.
that. So yeah, they'll take your message and they'll deliver it.
I mean, he wants them to be tested. There should be no reason for him to not want a appropriate response.
Unless the king wants to improve their stables.
Make sure we pick somebody who has like a crappy looking horse and is definitely not very talented at anything. Just someone who's a lifelong loser.
Okay. If you look for that, then you feel fairly confident the king. Like if you send someone showing up on a majestic steed with
Right.
all sorts of tricks they can do on their horse, and the king probably
They're riding a donkey, like is
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah.
they lost their license, so now they're on donkey. Yeah. All right. What's happening next?
Good thinking.
I just figure let's not burn the bridge, so to speak. You never know. Like, this guy's not like, I don't know. Like, I don't trust this dude at all that we're working for. Like, he's crazy. He's a lunatic.
Yeah. I mean, once again, well intended, poor execution. I think.
Lesser of two evils is kind of where I'm going with it. Like, he's clearly like, for now, sure, we can work with him if it means preventing his dad from reinstituting the blood mist. For sure, that's something we should work towards. But I don't know. We have to keep an eye out for a time where we might be able to take
I
them
seem to
both out.
recall that the purpose of the Red Runners wasn't all that pure either.
Right.
Yeah.
What was their purpose?
I want elves to take over the world, and just elves, and everybody else can die for all they care.
Wait, specifically, the continent that you're on initially was populated by nothing but elves and dwarves. And then the humans showed up, guided by their god, and started migrating in. The elves and the dwarves weren't cool with this, so the god kind of mediated everything and decided that what's the name of the mountain range down south?
It's like a split across the continent.
The divide. So the very bottom of the map we're looking at, there's the rocks called the divide, and kind of towards the east, there's a wall called the Iron Lock. And so it was dictated that humans would live south of the divide, in the, I forget what the specific name of that area is, and that the elves and the dwarves would live in the northern part, in the Ravenlands, which is where you're in, the now Forbidden Lands. And as payment for this, the god created the orcs to serve the dwarves and the elves.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so humans being what humans are, they wouldn't stay on their side of the divide. And so initially they started migrating. They reached peace with the elves. And then kings decided they wanted that land. Wars broke out. And that's kind of how Ziogfer came to power, as a sorcerer working for a king sent north to conquer the Ravenlands, who ended up discovering, all this demon shit and let that out on the world. So the Red Runners, their job is, now that the red mist is gone, is to use the stones in some way to drive out everyone who's not elf, dwarf, or orc, with elves being on the top.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Not exactly great either.
what's to say that these gems can't be destroyed?
Not
Well,
sure.
surely they can be misplaced.
I mean, it sounds to me like whoever reunites them all is going to have some trouble.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this guy that we're doing all this for, Zoloft, we're not, he's full of crap, right?
Oh,
We're all agreed.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely make sure that my telephone stone is all bundled up and
Yeah.
everything.
No,
Okay.
I was perfectly fine with them attacking where I'm from. That's wonderful.
Yeah, kind of,
Yeah, probably some D-bags there. But,
I have no belief that he's going to just relinquish power should he manage to destroy his father and suddenly comes into it and be like, hey, I have this giant demon fire-breathing animal army that I'm not going to do anything with now. Yeah, I don't believe that 1 second. Power
All right.
corrupts.
So we find the thing, and we keep it for ourselves. I mean, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But
I don't know that we'll have much choice with the scepter or not,
yeah,
but perhaps with the others.
Yeah, I think and there's definitely as acquiring it is step one, and then step two we can figure out once we acquire said scepter. I mean, we all almost died the last time we were there,
Right.
so
Well,
focus on just getting it now.
If
hopefully
they are-
step
Oh, go ahead.
hopefully step 3 will involve some profit.
oh yeah, we can at least
Oh,
get a
yeah.
castle out of the deal. I mean,
Yeah,
sure.
right. I mean, keep your friends close, your enemies closer type of thing. If he thinks that we're his subjects and allies and such, that might give us an opportunity to find an opportune moment to find a metaphorical or literal place to slide the blade in the back, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
I think for the scepter, our course is fairly well set.
So does this burning armor have anything to do with it, or was that just a tangent?
Off the bat, you all don't know anything. If someone would want to make a lore test,
Oh, why?
Sneaky Dan,
Somebody
it's
would-
Steely Dan, excuse me, Steely Dan territory.
Somebody would like to make a lore test. That would be me.
I would like to as well.
go ahead. You both can.
I did not do well.
Neither
Yeah,
did I.
Either of you want to push?
Let me go ahead and push it
All right.
because I could use some willpower.
Same. Is there? How do you
Should be
push?
a push button. I don't remember where it's at.
Yeah, there's a push button at the top of your character sheet. You'll see pop out, roll, push.
Wow.
There we go.
All of that for nothing.
You got one, Dan. That's 7 counts as a success.
Yeah.
And Adam got 2, yeah.
I've been outlawed.
I guess we can get rid of Dan now. We got Huxley.
Aw.
See you, Dan.
So I see a 1 in my first roll and my second roll. So does that mean I take 2 wits damage and 2?
The red dice are your skills,
Skill
and
die,
they
yeah.
don't.
They don't hurt you. So you just take...
Oh, they're skill dice. Okay.
oh, yeah. You
cool.
actually, you don't take any damage from that, Adam.
Okay.
You would see it as the skull in the
Yeah.
count
Mhm.
right below.
Like with Dan. If you look at
I
Dan's
see.
roll above, he's got the skull. He's got to take a point of damage in a whip.
Points. It'll be fine. It'll be valuable to get the wit for it, to be honest.
Mhm.
So I can poison.
Let's see.
Poison is useful.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, sorry. So the land to the south is Alderland. That's what it is. But I am looking for information on this suit of armor.
You said it was like the Rust Brothers deity or something like that. right?
Yeah. So the Rust brothers, of course, worship the god Rust, who the Rust brothers claim the true manifestation of the creator god Wyrm. So the Rust brothers believe that Rust and Wyrm are the same thing. Wyrm is the one who created the orcs and divided the land so the humans and the elves and the dwarves could live separately. This suit of armor was once a priestess by the name of Ferali Termalda. And she's the one who had a vision showing how to conquer the Raven lands with Russ' help. And that it was rightfully hers. So, as most things go, there was a schism in the Rust brothers. And let me find the exact wording. I was hoping there was just a legend drop that I could put in here. But, I'm not that lucky. So, oh man. So Zatira was involved. Let's see, where is this laying? So yeah, she was actually the one who brought the religion of the Rust brothers to the Ravenlands. Zatira taught the Rust Brothers some spells. The Rust Brothers then set out visiting neighboring villages, demanding obedience and tribute, and if not, they were immediately killed. In return, they were promised protection from the orcs and other predatory beasts that Zatira was creating. And I'm trying to remember. Essentially what happened is it went south. There was a schism. And a village didn't want anything to do with Termalda. So one of her Rust brother effigies of, the god Rust, they used a giant iron spike as she was wearing her giant armor, pinned her to it through the chest, lit her on fire. But then she just didn't die, and now wanders the Ravenlands as a revenant of sorts, and is revered by the Rust Brothers.
Oh.
A giant suit of flaming armor.
I think perhaps we deal with that after we get the king's sword.
Yeah, that sounds like a total bad A that we don't want to mess with.
Right, so it doesn't really have much to do with these crystals and such, right? These gems.
Not specifically.
Okay. Well, we don't need to worry about it.
I do have passing curiosity on Falander now, though. If they say don't go there, that seems like a place that we should probably go to. Not immediately. I think our first priority should probably be saving the hollows, if there's any of the hollows left to be saved.
All right, so yeah, we go and see about saving hollows.
Yeah, I did do a little bit of quick checking, and I think we could get 2 benefits here. It'd be a little bit faster, and also get us an experience point.
Okay.
If we go straight north and hit this one tile here.
Okay. So you're going to, and then move north again, and then
Yep.
just follow your predetermined path.
Yeah,
Clear up to the
Candlekeep.
hollows. Yeah.
I think it's like 7 tiles to Candlekeep versus 8. If we
Okay.
go down by the river.
Okay. So yeah, every unexplored tile you move through, you get an experience point. We do need to do a few things if we're going to do that. We can go ahead.
Well, it's not every. It's just every session you explore a tile.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes, you explore a tile you hadn't been to before. But I believe before we do that, we have a performance.
That's right.
We
do. That's right.
So, you all set back up in the the tavern here. No cords allowed tavern. Waits, sure enough, you're getting your setup. Your Alacrin and Heladim, they're getting set up. What are the rest of you doing to assist with this performance? Or are you just going to enjoy it?
I have a maybe shadier idea.
What you got?
I gotta try to remember which one of these talents it is that does it. I was thinking I might talk the bartender into offering like free drinks during the performance using one of my talents
Sure.
to try it and add a little bit of, a little boost of excitement to everything.
Sure. Go ahead.
It's just an auto pass sort of thing.
You
I
spend
just gotta
willpower.
spend-
Okay.
Yeah.
You use that to pre-hype the crowd up, making them far more receptive to the performance. Okay.
Can I use my new thing?
You
too?
absolutely can. Tell
So
me.
I'm trying to think of
Yeah.
what animal is like excited. Like I want to say like prairie dog is the thing that pops in my mind of like something that's just like
The golden retriever was a good one, or just
your
any
golden
dog.
retriever. Do like a happy dog. So like to kind of keep it going. So once like they're kind of pre-hyped up, now I want to kind of make sure that this lasts for a little bit.
Okay.
So would you call this a small crowd or a big crowd?
Small
There's
crowd.
small crowd, big crowd, and village. Okay.
Small crowd.
Okay. So power level of 2. So I've got to spend 2 on it.
Is the house packed? That's the question.
It's pretty packed. They know what they're getting for when they come to see one of Waits' shows.
So this lasts for 15 minutes. So I kind of want to hold this for if I start to see that initial excitement dying down a little bit,
Okay.
I'll kind of give like a refresh.
Okay, sure. Huxley or Osborne, you doing anything to contribute?
Osborne, what do you normally do during the shows? And the performances?
Well, normally me and Bob chill out in a room that we've rented, but I suppose this being a special occasion, I think we could get the crowd a little bit amped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got any oil?
Have I got any oil? I'll dig around in my stuff. Oh no, that's right. We accidentally burned some food on a fire, and I accidentally threw all my oil on it.
You don't have anything that you would use to set something ablaze, then?
Well, I got these, and I'll hold out my fire bombs. Yeah, here, take one.
You would give one up.
Well, I mean, you're gonna use it for something good, right?
Oh, it will be good.
Yeah, there you go. Take it.
So I take one of his fire bombs, and at some point throughout the performance, I'd like to take a knife and cut across my forearm to get a drop of blood.
Uh-huh.
Cast Firewalker on myself, and then set myself aflame.
I love it. There's our pyrotechnics. Okay.
Osborne is just sitting there like crying, like this is the best.
Yeah, so, I would need to spend it's a rank 1, so I'd need to spend 1 willpower, right?
Yep.
And then do I roll for a mishap? So
No.
Nope.
okay.
It just
willpower in
does
this game. It just
happens.
It just
Okay.
happens.
Yeah, I read a lot of it, and I was like, when do I do the mishap? So I think it's if I try and go above it.
Maybe. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't
Okay.
remember, but I know Mutineer
I'll,
Zero
I'll
does.
read again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very used to Mutineer Zero and also Alien, where everything could stress you out.
Yeah.
So yeah. So then I cut across my arm, get a drop of blood, and I cast Stir the Blood. I mean Firewalker. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then that's what it there. I make myself completely immune to heat and cold. I take no damage from fire, and it lasts for a quarter day. And so I just smash the glass over my head, and like yell out and set myself on fire.
I love it. Intense. Sure. So Marigold shows up, ready to play. Now waits. She meets with you, and she's. Do you want to do one of your songs, or would you like me to teach you one of my songs?
One of each.
I love it. Let's go ahead. Go ahead and roll your performance. You're going to take a +3 bonus, just from Marigold's influence.
We call this one We Didn't Start the Fire. So +3 from her.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I got +1 from my
It
instrument.
was already burning when Huxley arrived.
And then I get that from my assistants. So it's like 5, 6. All right. Okay. I have a lot of dice coming.
All right. Wow.
2 successes. Oh my god.
Ooh.
Push it.
Oh my gosh.
That's
That's
so
risky.
not fair.
You want to push that?
I'll leave it at 2. I mean, that's screw it. I'll push it. Never mind. Who cares?
A bad influence. My
Jeez, I
gosh,
rolled another one.
You got 3 successes. You do.
I did.
You're really pushing yourself hard to impress Marival. And you do. You're all going to make with her help. God, usually I deal it out in like 5 silver increments. But I'll tell you what, tonight you all did so well. I'll call it. Oh, hey, Captain Kyrian. Everyone also gets another will point. That's
Thanks,
fantastic.
Captain.
Nice.
Appreciate that.
I'm
maxed out now.
I'll tell you what, everyone's going to get 20 silver for this performance.
Wow.
Nice.
And that's the first song. Now it's time to perform her song.
Okay.
She sees that they see that you're stressed out. You really,
nervous.
I wouldn't call it maybe stressed out. You put your whole damn foot into this thing. Like you really, really did a lot of work on this. She comes over and she's just like, before we started, let me show you privately how these chords go. I need to go over here. I need to do that right there.
Oh no, he's privately rolling.
Mhm.
Bye, everybody. I'm dead.
Oh.
Go ahead and
Fingers
heal
are
up
gone.
your stat there by 3.
Oh wow. Okay.
Ooh.
I feel like this is like a devil went down to Georgia moment going on here.
Mhm.
Getting a little nervous all of a sudden.
Yeah, just her playing it for you, just feel intense calmness, them playing it for you, intense calmness just washes over you.
Okay.
Go ahead and give your performance again.
Okay, here we go. Hang on. So that was okay. So it's 3 for her, then my assistants, then my. All right. 2 successes.
Do you wanna
I'll
push
push
that?
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? There we go.
4
4
successes.
successes.
Everyone's going to get 25 silver for the second song,
Oh,
just in
boy.
tips.
Okay,
And I'm also increasing this amount because not only do we have Dan out there doing his thing to keep the crowd kind of, into
Loose.
it, then Melissa, your ability kicks in, and all of a sudden, like everyone just stands up, like just
Woo.
into it. They're so excited, they're so engrossed. That second act, Huxley comes out with the song is going, and Huxley, you just right above your head, and all of a sudden just whoosh, this giant pillar of fires behind you. You can see the fire, the lights just dancing across the faces of everyone in there. They're just totally just enraptured. Congratulations. It was a performance that stories will be told of for ages. Did I roll that? Who rolled that?
We
Me.
got some more bits
Oh,
from Ashley.
snap.
Oh, thanks, Ashley.
Thanks, Ashley.
Sorry, that was
Ooh.
me. I was rolling. Oh dear. I was rolling for my spell casting,
Oh, okay.
and I rolled a 1,
Oh,
which is bad.
so explain to me what's going on there.
So basically, you roll a number of base dice equal to the number of willpower points you spend. I spent 3. And if you roll any 1s, you suffer some sort of magical mishap.
Oh, so here's
So
the
I-
answer to that question, Adam.
Push.
Yeah, I need to roll one too. Okay.
Okay, so what happens with that magical mishap? Do I have a magical mishap?
So it's a D66.
And that's in the player's handbook?
Yeah, 118.
Glad I didn't use magic for my ability.
I don't know how to do a D66.
I can roll it for you. I've got a
Thanks.
quick action.
So
46.
1d6 times 10 plus
oh,
another
no.
1d6.
Oh dear.
What'd you get?
So Chuck, this is on you.
Uh-huh.
Your magic permanently alters your appearance. The GM decides how.
She looks
So-
like a golden retriever now.
What animal were you invoking?
A golden retriever.
Your hair kind of starts picking up, kind of like, like how a golden retriever is kind of shaggy, broken apart. Almost looks like you got ears hidden in that hair a little bit. You You get the big, like, kind of like permanent puppy dog eyes. You kind of take on the visage. Like, I'm not gonna make you like hairy from head to toe because of this, but people will probably give you a second look every now and then because you just kind of got. It's slightly you're not quite moving into like the uncanny valley kind of thing, but it's.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
she already had shaggy hair, but it definitely was not golden.
it is now.
It is now.
Yeah, maybe it looks like you
boy.
got some ears hiding in there. Got the
boy.
big, golden retriever, like, as a puppy eyes.
So do I feel this happen, or do I just think that I made everybody excited and like someone else is going to have to inform me of this?
I would probably say you don't notice it. Is it just physical appearance, or is it any additional appearance or any additional changes?
It just says physical appearance.
Okay, then I won't. I was going to make you excited like a golden retriever, but just physical. So that would probably be the big thing. Maybe you,
So I am. I've got like a tooth on, kind of a string that I'm kind of holding on to for casting.
Yeah.
And so everybody around me will just kind of see me kind of quietly casting, and everybody's excited. And I'm just pleased that I was helpful.
Yeah. When the rest of you look, her eyes are larger, and her hair color has changed, and looks like like a shaggy, like long-haired golden retriever. Maybe a couple points pop out, like you got the dog ears, but there aren't actual dog ears in there. Just your hair gives that illusion. Adam, how'd you do?
I rolled a 4, so I think I'm okay.
You're fine. Yeah. All right. Fantastic performance, everyone. The tavern, they put you all up to sleep for the night for free. Drinks were free. Because Osborne, who was getting free drinks for the night? Was that you, Dan, or Osborne?
That was me.
Did you, Dan? Free drinks for the night? Congratulations. You all rest up, and you're ready to head out the next morning.
45 silver is no small amount either.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
That is
really.
a large amount of money.
Yeah, I'm definitely buying some gear before we head out.
Yeah. If you want to do shopping, we don't have to do it on stream because that's kind of boring,
Sure.
but feel free to look through the items and anything you want to buy. Just go ahead and add it. I'm just
Chuck, what's the max die for consumables like food and water?
12, I think.
Is it a D12? I'll top off on that then.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something I did recently too. Is I topped off all my dice.
Yeah. So yeah, feel free to spend money. So I'm gonna pull up I guess actually you all need to. If you click on the characters tab and you scroll down clear to the bottom, you should see a character item listed as the party. This is for Adam. Go ahead and open that up. Why aren't you opening up the party?
Yeah, it's not opening.
Oh, it borked.
Is it kind of like a group inventory and stuff?
It's a group. It's the traveling sheet, the group traveling sheet. I'm going to refresh to see if it'll let me open it.
Do we have ownership of it?
It's opened before.
Yeah, it's opened before.
Maybe it's somewhere else. I'm pretty sure you have ownership of it. I just checked. Yeah, you do have. I'm sorry. Yeah, you do have ownership.
I'm going to refresh.
Let me make sure it didn't get disabled in a module thing. This is party sheets.
I really want to know how quickly people tell me what happens, or if it's something where nobody mentions anything and I just happen to be passing by a sheet of glass and notice.
Yeah, no, you'll like if you come close to Huxley at all, he looks extremely uncomfortable and he does a double take at you. Like he does that to you.
Bolari, we met earlier. We did a whole thing today. Have you had a bit much drink this evening?
No, I haven't had anything. It's not something I do when I'm performing.
What's with the face?
Uh,
To your face.
I've only met. He is obviously trying to find something to say, and he's like, I've only met one halfling before. You do you always change hair color?
Whatever do you mean? And so then having something tangible, she'll sort of look down and just sort of gasp.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
I don't know.
I've created a new party sheet called Party Sheet Test. You all should be able to see it. It opened up for me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
working.
So we're now ready to travel. As Dan suggested, you're going to move north through an unexplored hex and then onto the path that you usually take. So the way this works, you click on the travel thing, and you can drag your character to what they're going to be doing while they're traveling.
Oh, cool.
And then you can just click on the button above to roll that for you. So Valari does lead the way. You can see Steely Dan is keeping watch. Most of the people, you're not resting right away, but you can, if you rest, you could then hunt or forage. So yeah, if you're not actively doing a roll, you can just stay there another. But Melissa, do you want to push that?
I believe I probably should. And let me push first.
So I just drag myself to whatever I'd like to do.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah,
got a
there's
success.
certain things I think we have to stop for though, or something
Right.
like that.
Pretty
I
much.
can't remember them all.
The hike, most everyone's going to drag themselves to hike because only one person can lead the way. And I only think one person can keep watch. But then when you all stop to rest for the night, you can drag yourself to like forage, hunt, fish,
Okay.
make camp. Yeah. So yeah. Melissa, you got a success. You take 2 points of damage there. But that's all we need just to make sure that, a mishap doesn't happen. You make your way through. Dan, you're going to roll your keep watch.
Yep.
Dude, good job. 2 successes.
Nice. How uncommon.
I'm going to roll a die.
Like how subtle that was. How uncommon.
All right, I'm going to roll this one now. Okay. As you're all traveling through this hex, Dan, you keep a good eye. You don't actually find anything that poses a threat, but you actually come across what looks like an old temple. And it's kind of derelict. It's in ruins a little bit. But as you approach this temple, you can actually see there's some like vultures circling above. And kind of the closer you get, you notice the amount of flies in the area is increasing.
Mm.
What do you want
Is
to
it
do?
something that we feel like we should investigate on our way, or?
Well, what do them vultures up in the sky there usually indicate? Balari or some folk who know more about nature might. Should we be concerned?
Generally, they are found around places of death or decay. Often.
Think there's something inside that died or whatnot?
More than likely.
Maybe it's just a dead guy who's really sleepy.
Right. Would they, if it was a dead guy, would they be circling or they be down pecking away at it?
Likely both. Chuck, jump in if I'm saying.
No, you're fine. I was going to jump in, but I'm like, no, you got this. You weren't asking me. You were asking the party. Silly me.
It's up to you if you feel like, person, if it's a person or a thing might be inside living, we could take a peek, but I mean, we got bigger fish to fry too, so
Maybe just a cursory glance to see if there's some good we can do. Otherwise,
If it's a recent kill, we could also use the meat for our journey.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's good thinking.
Pull it.
Okay, so
All
you gonna check it out or no?
I think we're gonna take a peek.
Okay.
I'll take a peek. Perhaps there's something good we can do yet.
So how is this working out? You see this kind of stone temple. Probably hundreds of years ago, it was probably something to look at. You can see the doors. It's got double doors on the front of it. The doors are still intact and closed. Most of the windows have been busted out. Kind of as you're coming along it, you can see a portion of the roof is collapsed. What are you going to do?
I suppose try and take a closer look and see if we can figure out what
Okay.
those vultures might be circling.
Can I take a look at the walkway or stairs or whatever that we'd be walking on to ensure there's some sort of stability, that we're not just gonna collapse from the
Yeah, give me a test for that. Let me look and see what a test is appropriate.
crafting maybe?
Crafting, I like that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I got points in that. I'll push.
All right.
Success.
Okay. Yeah, it looks solid. They're old kind of cobblestone leading up to this. And it looks like the kind of, the church is standing square, so it looks like the foundation. It's not sinking in or anything. So
Okay.
you're not worried about the ground falling out from underneath
Yeah.
you.
Looks sturdy enough. We could probably just be
Actually,
careful.
I have a spell that could help. With a little initial sneaky sneak, I could do a cat's paw. You can meld your mind with the spirit of a cat and move without a sound.
Ooh.
Okay.
You can cast the spell instead of rolling sneak.
There you go.
That
You wanna do
sounds
that?
fun.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've been forgetting to do the rolls for spellcasting.
Yeah,
So,
that's fine. I
um,
didn't remember either.
I'll just do the one.
Yeah,
Not a
no
one.
problem. Yeah, you like a cat sneak in, stealth and silence. You move up to a window and you peek in, and you see inside what looks to be the bodies of 4 dead women lying on the ground,
Oh.
and it looks like they've got burn marks in them. You've probably seen violence like this before, and it's usually inflicted at the hands of Rust Brothers.
Hmm.
Before I share that, I just want to look around and make sure that there are no lingering Rust Brothers.
Yeah, I'll let you, since you're, moving super silent, there's not as much of a risk here. You do confirm there's no Rust Brothers in the immediate area. Maybe you kind of move around towards the back and you can kind of see where maybe the Rust Brothers left and they kind of headed off towards the east.
Maybe we can
And-
just double check them.
Yeah.
Perhaps bury or dispose of their bodies in some more appropriate manner.
So I'm going to continue with my super secret sneaking,
Mhm.
And I'm going to come up behind Huxley, and then I'm going to say loudly, "Yeah, there's nothing inside."
Turns around, cast fireball, whatever.
Hello, little one. Thank you
And
for
so I'll
letting me know.
I'll share that there's no one alive inside, but unfortunately, it appears that the Rust Brothers were here, and they murdered 4 women that are inside.
Jeez.
Huxley, without saying another word, will walk inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hearing that, I mean, I'll be running in too, because to confirm that they're actually dead.
Now, were they dead before or after the Rust Brothers killed them, you think?
I mean, that
The
might be
manner
something.
of death seems in line with the Rust Brothers' manner of murder.
Oh, so no, really. Nah, all right.
So,
I'm going to swing around my new flail like, all right, Rust Brothers. Wah. And just, yeah.
those of you going inside, I would like a lore check.
Trying to find your swinging sound.
Oh yeah, the sound I
Alright.
make when I hit a Rust brother.
Okay.
Pushed, got a
Yep.
success.
Oh wow,
There we go.
3 successes. There you go. So yeah, all of you would be able to pick up immediately that their outfits kind of have a matching motif going on. As you realize that these are, the fabled, some of the fabled Raven sisters.
Like the
Ravens,
band, or no?
yeah. Raven sisters they were the religious group before the Rust brothers showed up. The Rust brothers hunt and kill Raven sisters as heretics. Let me drop a little bit of lore here for you.
Oh.
I don't have a lot.
What kin are these sisters?
Oh, the spacing on that's terrible. That's fine. They're one of them is half elf. The rest of them are human.
Huxley will walk over to where the bodies are.
Oh, I forgot to do this. I like
And
the narrate tool.
He'll bend over and he'll take a deep breath in to smell these particular corpses.
Okay.
What does that do?
And he he smells. So what does it smell like? Like charred flesh, basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
yeah, they've been dead for a bit. You would probably guess no more than a week, but yeah, definitely charred flesh.
Anything of note on them that might suggest where they were or where they were going?
It looks like the Rust brothers probably looted before taking their way.
Do we think that this was the temple where they were actually practicing out of, or this just happens to be where they just tried to
It
run
looks
and hide
like
from?
there's some sleeping mats. Looks like there was some spaces for food provision. Maybe you can see there's a smashed barrel, like maybe the Rust brothers destroyed their little water barrel they had. There was a crude shrine, but it's smashed to bits and scorched. So you would definitely look at they were probably stationed or living here.
Definitely need to give these folks a proper burial, and next time we're in Amber's Peak, maybe somebody knows about these poor women. We're not that far.
Yeah.
Huxley will exhale with a shuddered breath, and his body starts shaking a little bit, and he'll look at the first person who is looking at him and kind of immediately compose himself again and say, yes, they should be buried.
Right there, friend. First time seeing death?
Oh, no. No, far from the first time. We need to do the right thing and bury them.
Agreed.
Very well.
All right, let's get to it then. So yeah, we'll spend some time digging some graves.
Yeah, you do. Spend a little bit of time. There's no other sign of the Rust brothers returning when you're doing this. No other sign of anyone else traveling through. Peaceful, solemn moment as you lay them down. Maybe play a little something soothing to put them to peace. But yeah, four Raven sisters. You've all couldn't actually say if you've ever met a Raven sister before. Some of you who have traveled a little bit older, you probably could definitely point some out, but that's a sign of the Rust brothers' violence and intolerance for other beliefs, and also a shame just because the Raven sisters have a very strong they're known for striving for peace and their healing arts and just helping, being super helpful. And one of the first Raven sisters, they learned under the elves to try and keep peaceful coexistence between the first Outlanders that traveled to the Ravenlands, between the elves and the dwarves and the humans. So
Perhaps finding more of them would be beneficial towards a more amicable solution, that we're looking for. A third party that might.
Allies. Yeah.
There's nothing that we can perhaps take to give to any more of their faction so that they may know what
Yeah,
happened.
like a rosary or something like that. Some kind of symbology.
No. If there was
okay.
anything here, the Rust brothers took it or destroyed it.
Took it. Yeah.
Yeah, they.
Hey, in my gear, stuff that I had acquired over my. Oh no, I was wondering what the feathers were that I had gotten, but no, I remember now. They're harpy feathers.
Yeah. From
Just-
your, temporary mom.
Yep. Definitely not appropriate to be putting on a grave. No.
No.
I'll take a long moment before we put the final dirt on top of them, just trying to commit as much of their faces to memory as possible. Like I know they're burnt up and everything, but like whatever I can, just to if at some point we get to the opportunity to describe. So
Okay.
Yeah. And I may do the same, but not quite for as kind reasons.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps if I need to disguise myself as one of them for some means or another.
Yeah. So, let's see. I have my journey cheat sheet. I'm going to show this to Adam real quick so you can see what I'm working off of. How many squares are you all moving? You're moving 2 hexes per quarter day. So, in the morning, you move 1, 2 to where you're at now. Then lunchtime, once you move into a hex you've already been through, we don't have to re-roll anything. You just make it through. Then come, towards, 5, 6 p.m., you finally make it to Candlekeep.
Or what's left of it.
What's left of it is a good. There's the doors have been bashed down. The structures are in relatively good shape, but you can definitely tell that there's been battle here. There's blood stains on the ground. No signs of anyone. The village, luckily, you'd be familiar in most attacks like this, there's going to be some, they're going to burn it. So that way it can't be resettled. But that's not the case here. It was attacked. There's a battle, and there's no other long-term structural damage. Doors are busted down. Yeah, you're in the ruins of Candlekeep.
Well, I guess we can go spend the night at the bar or something.
kind of place to camp in here if we want, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, that's easy enough. You could find a place to shack up and reinforce and sleep safely. And then in the morning, make the final bit of trip to the Hollows, trying to either sneak up behind the undead army or maybe even scout ahead to see if the Hollows has been hit yet. So,
if it has been already, I imagine Cold Gulch probably would be their next destination.
It could be. Oh, I can delete that fucking bear thing.
I was thinking the same thing.
What's that?
The bear token. We don't have to worry about that shit anymore.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we do have a half hour left. Does anyone want to do anything? We got resting for the night. There's more things you can do on the party sheet. I think you're all pretty well provisioned.
Yeah.
there's make camp. Probably someone does need to do a make camp just so you can make sure you have a strongly fortified place to sleep for the night. But I don't know if anyone would be interested in foraging, hunting, or fishing. Maybe foraging through the remains of Candlekeep.
Yeah.
I'd like to try foraging.
Okay, just drag your token on the player sheet, the party sheet.
I'll forage too to make sure that because I'll turn around and cook later.
Okay, yeah, drag your character down to forage if you want to. Looks like Jake's going to be making camp. And for these things, make camp, forage, hunt, fish. As many people can do it as they want. The only thing that's got limitations is lead the way and keep watch.
More than one person can make camp.
Right, more than one person can make camp. Yeah,
I'll give some help to Osborne then.
Sure.
Yeah.
I do kind of want to look around and see if the place was like ransacked, or were things taken from it, or was it just like they just killed the people?
I'm going to call that forage. Put your token on forage, and that's what's going to be that forage roll.
Okay.
And it looks like only one person does the roll.
Yeah, for make camp, but you can
for
help.
Forage too.
So what's going to happen is one of you is going to pick who's going to make the primary roll, and then you're going to get a +1 for each person that assists. Don't forget your NPCs there can also assist. So if you guys are splitting between make camp and forage,
Yeah, we can divvy them out too.
Alucrin will come hang out with us, and you guys can have Heladim.
Yeah. Heladim is definitely the fighter of the two, so...
I'm all right at survival checks.
So sounds like Steely Dan is going to make the forage test with a +3, getting assistance from Valari, Huxley, and Heladim.
Okay.
Huxley, how's your survival?
0, but my wits is 5. So, I'm not trained in it, but I have a high stat.
I'm trained in it.
Cool.
Good deal.
So, Dan, 2 successes off the bat. We'll come back to that.
If there's value in it, I know sometimes there's not. I can still push that.
I don't want you to push on this situation unless you just really want to willpower. I'm just going to tell you everything with those 2.
Okay, that's what I mean. And sometimes there's no merit in it.
Yeah, there's not in this situation. Who's going to make the make camp test? This is another survival roll.
I'm going to suggest courses of action that Alucrin could take to make camp.
So it sounds like Alucrin's making the roll with a +2 bonus.
He's got 2 ranks in survival. I was thinking the exact same thing. Yeah.
All right. So go ahead and I can.
You got it up, Jake?
Yeah. I got it up here.
No.
You can actually click on their name on the party sheet, and it opens the character sheet. So this is survival.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And we're getting a +2. 2 successes. That's plenty good. You all find the taverns in pretty good shape, and you spend a little bit of time reinforcing the doors and boarding up the windows.
There's
and
probably plenty of tables and things to work with.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. But this all means you're all actually going to be sleeping in your own private rooms upstairs because it's also an inn as well. So you'll have a good night's sleep. As you all, those of you foraging, nothing's been taken. No looting. Plenty of food is here. Plenty of drink is here. You find plenty of the beer that you all sold or negotiated the trade from the Hollows to.
Plus, we could try and resell this beer someday.
Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, there's absolutely no looting. It's just the skeletons showed up with the intention of just killing people.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Well, suffice to say, if we're looking for some gear or something like that, some basic supplies, we might be able to find that readily here.
Pretty much, if there's a specific item you're wanting, presume that you can find it here, and just roll me a d6, and that's the quantity you can find it in.
Okay, and we can do that.
Yeah, we don't need to do that on stream, yeah. But yeah, food, there's plenty of food, plenty of water, plenty of beer. Basic supplies, maybe if you're looking for, like a super kick-ass weapon, you might not find it here. This place definitely, they did a lot of trading, which is part of the thing, and they were also really good at hunting. So plenty of hunting gear in here. But yeah, you all can crash out for the night. You'll make it through the night safely. No other signs of life in the town. So like if you like go out and wander the town at night, no signs of fires inside, no lights in any of the other buildings. It wasn't a big town. It was more of like a fort that they kind of threw some rough houses into, like shacks. But yeah, no signs of life.
Wow.
And with that, we got a half hour. I don't want to get into this confrontation with only a half hour left, so I think we're going to call it here, which will leave us plenty of time to do experience points and go through and do some more plugs. So let me pull up the experience points little form. I always got to search for it. Oh my gosh. Where is it? You know what? I'll just go look over here.
While you're looking for that, did we ever get like a proper wagon?
I think you've
Yeah,
got
I
a
bought
small wagon that you had with Bob.
Yeah,
No.
Bob had a cart, so I'm just thinking I'm gonna trade that up for like a more proper wagon.
Yeah.
I bought us a big wagon, and
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
we have like I think 4 horses at this point if you count Death Butter.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So Bob can still be pulling your cart, but the group also has just a regular ass wagon with 4 horses pulling it.
Yeah.
So if you want to,
Well, now I'll just pile all the stuff I had into the wagon, and then I'll just leave the cart behind. That way, Bob can be a fighting pig.
okay. So experience points. Keep track of your own. Did you participate in the game session? If you did, you get a point. Did you travel through at least one hex? Thanks to Steely Dan's plannings to get you there quicker. That is a yes. Did you discover a new adventure site? You found that that church. And you went into the castle too. So yes, you get a point for that. Did you defeat one or more monster? We didn't have any combat today, so that's a no. Did you find treasure, 1 or more gold? I'm going to say y'all got paid quite a bit. So that's a yeah. We're not doing any stronghold stuff. We need to start delving into that. Who all activated their pride? Now I know, yeah, Jeff, you activated and lost your pride.
I gotta come up with something else. I get the next session. I get nothing. Then the session after, I have to
You
come
get
up with a new
something.
one.
Dark Secret, Huxley definitely did.
Mm-hmm.
In a more than one way.
Yeah. For the first time I didn't. I have money at the end of the session.
Yeah, so I think just
What a
Huxley.
shame.
Did you risk your life for another PC? And once again, there wasn't really any combat. The stakes weren't super high, so I'm going to say probably not. Does anyone feel like they performed an extraordinary action of some kind? And this is up to you. If you think you did, just tell me why and I'll give it to you.
I think we all know who performed rather extraordinarily.
Yeah, I feel like we've tapped into that a bunch. I almost feel like I'm stealing when I take it for like a really good performance. But so it's up to you, Chuck.
The only thing I would probably put out there is you did argue up this dude for 2 more bottles of the fire stuff. So if you wanted to take it for that, I would definitely allow it.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I'd give myself meets expectations.
Huxley lit himself on fire for a concert, so that was cool.
Yeah.
That's
That was
pretty
very-
extraordinary.
I'll give that to you, Adam.
Yeah.
That's an
Okay.
extraordinary action, yeah.
I risked all of our lives by being a little bit snarky with a leader
I
that
will
could have
give
killed us.
that. I will give it. You saw a dude ride a giant lizard through a hole in the wall, and then you were snarky to him. If you want to take it for that, I will allow it.
Telling
The
truth
fact
to
that I saw
power.
Jeff's reaction when you said that, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
I was like, we're gonna die. I really hope.
I did.
So would you say she risked her life for the...
she risked all our lives. She did.
I was like dancing around asking that question, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna say it."
Bullseye, wham!
a 64-year-old druid who's lived a lot of times in the woods and doesn't necessarily have a lot of patience for politics and all of this other nonsense.
Yeah.
I was just trying to touch those fringe subjects about it, but not like.
That was. I think it was another big information session. We had one of those last time too.
Yeah.
So what all do you think you've learned so far from this session?
I don't think that we found anybody who's doing anything truly altruistically good in this world yet.
Right. To be fair, neither are we, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah. I mean, the big things are like that the Red Runners are working with Zertrim to get these rubies to fight, you know, Ziogfer or Zytir, which is like a combo or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a combo.
They're on the same page with each other.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, Zytir is the name of the
like amalgamation
of the three creatures. The father, the daughter, and then the giant spider demon. And they've merged their body into three. That way, Ziogfer, the actual name of the father, can, you know, continue to live. So Zytir is the name of the amalgamation of the three of them.
So yeah, that was big. We've learned that we maybe screwed up when we left Weatherstone, because now that there's an undead army that's moving through and it's almost kind of our fault. It's not entirely our fault. Dalb really did it, but like,
well, we didn't actually do anything when we were there. We were walked through, and we were pretty much just gonna leave.
We walked up and then we noped the fuck out.
Yeah, you all were gonna nope the fuck out, but then Dalb started singing that song outside, which woke all of the undead up.
Yeah,
and then you were almost murdered by the king.
Yeah, for once we went somewhere and decided to not do anything, and then shit still happened anyways.
Yeah.
Means the next time we see Dalb, we're cracking his head open.
I'll tell you, I was down for it the first time. Yeah.
I know. We should have listened. Listened.
I also want to throw out there that there
can be only one bard.
Your information on the Red Runners. I do want to remind you what their initial plan was at the Eye of the Rose. They wanted the ruby that the Empress, the Orc Empress, had. Mm-hmm. So they were just going to storm the castle at night, kill everyone in the castle, and take the ruby.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of faith in them either.
No, there's no good people here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like I said earlier, I think our path for the scepter is pretty well fixed, because if we do otherwise, then we'll piss off the two large factions in this area. Like pretty handily, I think.
Yeah.
And if we do nothing, then he'll probably just continue going around and killing people.
Right. And I think at the very least, like if we get that the scepter ruby thing, then we have it. And that like we could always at that point do something else with it. Though I do worry a little bit about the cell phone that he gave us and whether or not that's also got GPS and he can track us too. So that could be
yeah. That's why I'm a little concerned that our hands are tied on maybe turning that one in. That maybe establishes us within their party, but then perhaps once we've earned that trust, we go do other things. Maybe we see if there's a third faction that we can find.
Well, for factions so far, your first encounter was with the Rust Brothers.
Bad.
Then the Red Runners.
They're bad.
Bad.
Now Zytir.
Also bad.
And you've heard about there's the Raven Sisters, which you haven't encountered yet.
Cool, but not necessarily particularly strong.
Possibly the good people we're looking for.
Yeah.
And there's still other factions out there that you haven't come across yet. So more is out there to be revealed. So
yeah, I don't want to necessarily commit to doing the work of one or another at this point, but I think that I might be being narrow visioned here, but I think this one we might have to do.
Yeah. Well, you all can worry about getting it first. That's step one.
Yeah.
And then once it's in your hand,
then we can play some evil mastermind stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And don't forget, like once we get it, we're supposed to deliver it to a place that's fairly far away, and we could kind of take our time getting there as we make that decision.
Yeah.
So, assuming
Yeah.
we survive.
Get on misadventures.
Yeah. So the next session, are you going to? What's your plan? Is it to try and dart around this undead army to get to the hollows to see if it's still intact, or are you just going to try and go straight to the undead army?
Frontal assault, we were told, is probably a bad idea, and plus he's sending those like demon thingies to help us. So we don't want to be.
So maybe trail the undead until the fire monsters come, and then take advantage of the chaos.
The fire monsters will come kind of at our behest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with use of the cell orb.
Our cell stone.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a bad idea if we could go around and get in front of them, if we can double time it or something, and see
Perhaps
if
we
they've
can
actually
warn
made it there
them.
and warn them. Yeah.
Yeah. At some point, Huxley would like to look at that stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would not be a bad idea.
Yeah. By all means, I'm not gonna keep it secret, keep it safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if we can potentially warn them, get them to evacuate, there might be some merit in that. That would potentially buy us some time or add some confusion to try and deal with the king. You know, perhaps while they're in the town, that's an opportunity for us to attack while they're not expecting it.
Yeah. And the one thing you did learn from Candlekeep is they really did not do a whole lot of damage to Candlekeep.
Yeah. If they're vacant, then they can probably come back.
We didn't see any bodies, right? We just
No
saw
bodies.
signs. So
Yeah.
they're probably raising them and adding them to the army, right?
Could
Because
be.
that's what was a bunch of undead soldiers. So
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
bodies,
Yeah.
And you all have experienced before that the undead wandering around in the Forbidden Lands is a pretty common thing. Because initially you came across, your very first thing is you came across a group of undead leaving the hollows, trying to escape because a group of Rust brothers showed up. And we're
They're the
trying
first
to.
people we murdered.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
So
So
there could be benefit then to trying to jump ahead and trying to help some of those people escape so they don't become part of the army.
Or to contact the Rust brothers.
Who are you going to call?
Hit them together, yeah.
Because there is a Rust brother in the hollows, is there not?
there was
There
a Rust
was.
brother in the hollows. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Try and stick the Rust brothers on them as well.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Curry favor with them.
So what's
Not a bad
gonna?
idea.
That's not a bad idea. What's your plan going to be for the scepter?
We're gonna get it, and then we'll think about it.
Okay.
I don't know. I just feel like we don't like. I don't know. Giving it to this guy, Zertrim, seems like a bad idea. Like,
Yeah.
but I mean, like Jake said before, keeping it is putting a target on our backs.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I mean. I think our hands are tied on this one because they know we're getting this.
Right, but I also feel like if we hand it over, they're just one step closer. The Red Runners are already going to be doing another one for them. So like, yeah,
So
we wouldn't want the Rust brothers to get it either, though.
right. I just feel like it's like we made the joke earlier, like the Infinity Stone stuff. I wouldn't want to like actively give an Infinity Stone away. Find a way to hide it or find somebody else to cloak it, or I don't know, do some research on it, figure out if there's anything we could potentially do that might. I don't know where to go with that.
Somehow we lose it on our way there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't the insight skill things that would help you with what, like looking and figuring out those sorts of artifacts?
Yeah.
I think because I selected that because I wanted to be able to do those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, both of our characters have 5 wits, so we're a little double statted.
That's fine. You all can work
We're
together
both-
to figure that stuff
We're
out.
both smart boys.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, and like, I don't know what it was, but you.
Preventing you from making checks and stuff.
Oh no, it's fine. Yeah, like I didn't really go heavy into lore. I only put 1 point into it. So
Yeah, looks like
it
Dan, you
was
could still be
more-
the lore specialist. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have any talents for lore.
Yeah.
I may for insight, but he's kind of a muscle mage. So
yeah, I love fighting mages. Those are fun.
yeah.
My character is a rogue and is supposed to be a thief, but the way that things came out in creation is all of the life events and stuff
Mhm.
landed under the wit section.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's fun.
And I was like, well, I'll just lean into that, I suppose.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I think let's go ahead and wrap it. Next session we'll have another special someone joining the game. I'm very excited. Once again, they're not new to the channel. They're not new to all of us. They'll be new to the game, so I'm very excited to have them join. It's going to be a lot of fun getting to play another game with them.
Yes,
And
indeed.
Adam, thanks for joining this merry
Yes,
little
thanks
band
for
of
having me.
misfits. I'm excited to see what all you bring to the game and the new fun directions that you help influence. So it's pretty great. I'm excited for you to be here.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
fun.
Osborne's gonna have a lot of fun with it.
I think so. I definitely
Oh,
think so.
yeah.
I was gonna say we'll have to see about finding ourselves some new hot water.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh boy. Yeah.
That's a throwback. All right.
Yeah.
So let's do some plugs. Adam, I'll let you start it off. What do you want to plug?
I'd like to plug 3-2-1 action because I just joined the team that's going to be working on this game. It's by George Colazzo and John, otherwise known as Hambone McGuire of the Vintage RPG podcast. And just made a little announcement on our website, if that's okay to post here.
If it doesn't give you permission, send me the link and I'll post it.
Okay.
It did not. Let
Yeah,
me see
I'm
if I
timed
can-
out. I'll put it in chat here.
Hang on. I might be able to just copy and then repaste it.
But
There you
it's it's something that Hambone's really excited about. I've played it once. I'm looking over the rules now and giving a lot of the edits. It's kind of what I do. So it's something I'm really looking forward to, and it's going to be on Kickstarter soon. That link has any information that you'd want to find if you wanted to check out a simple system that lets you basically be 80s action stars.
That sounds awesome to me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fantastic. I cannot wait to back that.
Me too. Me neither. Yeah.
Yeah. So very cool. Once again, thanks for joining us, Adam. I'm just thrilled to have you
Yes.
to get to play
Thanks.
another game with you.
Absolutely.
All right, Jeff and Melissa, what do you two crazy kids have going on this?
Monday, you can catch us here on the Free League Publishing channel as we continue our Vaesen playthrough. We are episode 3 of our newest mystery, A Match Made in Ven, where all sorts of crazy stuff's happening. That's 9 Central, so you can come check Dan out, Chuck, Melissa, myself, we're all in it. And then twitch.tv/thelollygaggers is where you can find us normally, and we play a variety of games over there. We're currently doing a fantasy horror game called Best Left Buried that we're having fun with, and we do a bunch of other stuff, including a lot of Free League games like Alien and Mutant Year Zero, so go give that a follow and you can see what we're doing there.
Very cool. And yeah, Dan, Jake, and I, we're repping Defenders of Cobalt. Actually tonight, sadly, Dan and Jake don't get to play in this because they've already played this adventure. But
really
tonight we're running a one-shot using the Weird Frontier system. It's the Last Will and Testament of Obadiah Faulkner. Check that out. Defenders of Cobalt tonight at 9 p.m.
And it is a fun one, so
it's gonna be exciting.
yeah, it might be worth tuning in for that.
Yeah.
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 It's very fun.
Like Jeff mentioned, you can catch us on Free League Publishing for Jeff's Vaesen game on Monday. Wednesday this week, you can catch us again on Defenders of Cobalt. Jeremy from Grim and Perilous Plays is running some more spectaculars for us. From Grim and Perilous Studios. Yeah. Grim and Perilous
either
Plays
one.
was the Twitch. Yeah.
Either one.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. And then what else? Friday, we'll be back for some more Mutant Year Zero. And then next Saturday, we'll be kicking off the sneak preview of the MCC adventure Omnivery of Eden over on Goodman Games Official. So that's kind of what we've got going on this week. So yeah, I don't know. Thanks for watching, everyone. Everyone, thanks for playing. I don't know. Until we see you next time, start fires, do drugs, and wear a fucking mask. Deuces.
Bye.
Everybody.
There it is. Okay. Goodbye.